What's up, everybody? It's Eddie Miranda with ProLink News. And as you guys know, we are doing the road to the Arnold Classic, and we have um, been interviewing a whole bunch of athletes, some of the top-notch athletes here that are going to the show. And today, who we have going is actually a competitor that is pretty pretty quickly and rising into her status into the figure division. She got her pro card in 2017, one of the very first figure pro cards to be done international after the split. And she has been going internationally, hitting shows, getting first and second places, making her way to the Olympia stage last year for the first time. But today, who we want to welcome is Anna Banks. How you doing, Anna? How's everything?
I'm good, thank you. Hi, guys.
So, Anna, I just want to dig a little bit deeper into your past before you got your pro card. But we want to know the kind of person or who you were before you got into figure or bodybuilding.
Okay, so I started competing in 2016, but before that, I think it was around 2013 where I was just a bit bigger, so like a bit like not I wouldn't say overweight, but just out of shape. So I thought, you know what, I really want to do something. I wasn't really happy with my body. I thought all I want to do is just lose some weight, see, just to feel better. So I decided to go to the gym. So 2013, I decided I would try to do something. So I joined the gym. I started working out. I started enjoying it so much. I've lost actually a lot of weight, and then I started. My body started to change, And after like nearly 3 years, a lot of people started asking me, "Oh, did you just do the show? Are you competing? Are you preparing for one?" And I was like, no. Yeah, I've never thought about it. I wasn't into that. Like, I wasn't watching the shows. I wasn't following the bodybuilding. I was like, no, I don't think so. But then the more people started asking me, the more I started thinking about it. So 2016, I thought, you know what, let me look into it. So I thought training just for yourself and training for the competition is completely two different things. So first things first, I thought, okay, if I want to do it, I want to do it properly, and I need to find the right coach. So that's what I did. I find the coach, and then we prepared for my first show.
So you found a coach, and now as far as your amateur career, you had to do it in Europe, correct? So like, tell us a little bit about your amateur career before you went into try to get qualified for your pro card.
Okay, so I actually started in bikini division. So 2016 for the whole till 2017, I was competing as a bikini, and then August 2017, we decided we're gonna compete in figure. So I did my first pro figure show August 2017. It was like Leicester UKBFF, which was like nationals, little nationals, which qualified me. I won it. So which qualified me to British finals. We did British finals. I won it again. And then a few weeks after was San Marino. So the first show after the split. And the coach said, Anna, we're saying, shall we do? What do you think? I was like, yeah, let's go for it. So we went to San Marino, and we won it, and we won our pro card. So 3 figure shows I did, and it was, I won all of them, and I won the pro card.
So you transitioned from bikini to figure. Now, how difficulty or what did you run into as far as the difference between a bikini prep and a figure prep?
Bikini for me was always difficult one because I was a little bit between categories. I was in between bikini and figure. So bikini I did okay. I was always kind of like, top 5, top 6 first call out, but I was always marked down on a bit too much muscle, a bit too much condition. So I was always trying to size down or get softer. So training was, more about details, less food because I couldn't grow. So I just had to maintain and work on the details. While when we switched to figure, we could go all in and go more intense on the training, more food. We could grow whole body. So, so
Now, no, so before going into San Marino Pro,
yeah.
what was your results like as far as your placing in the amateur shows before going into San Marino Pro?
Yes, I did two shows, two figure shows before San Marino, and I won both of them.
Okay, so now going into San Marino Pro,
Mhm.
the split just happened. It happens to be the very, very first show in 2017 that they're saying, you know, if you compete internationally, this is going to be a pro qualifier show. You win the overall and you get your pro card. Now, given the fact that you had won the two shows prior and going to this one, did you have any expectations thinking that you were actually going to walk out with the overall?
No, absolutely not. I think every show I'm doing, I'm always trying to do my best and bring the best package I can and do everything I can to get the best place, but I never expect to win it. I mean, this is bodybuilding, this is competition, anything can happen. So I always fight for the best spot, but I never expect anything. So going to San Marino, I won two shows before, but I know that was different. This one was, as you said, first NPC pro qualifier in Europe. I didn't know what to expect. I thought, you know what, there was also different judges, so I thought, let's go, let's test the water, let's see what happens. So I did not expect that, but it was great.
Now, now usually what's customary, and like I've seen it a lot, you go to a pro qualifier show international, and the pro show is actually the day after.
Mm-hmm.
So you were actually able to not only get your pro card on the same weekend, but also step on a pro stage that same weekend. What was the feeling that for that transition to be able to go from the amateur stage to the pro stage in just one weekend?
Yes, the pro show was next day, and they asked me actually, Anna, do you want to do it? And I thought to myself, shall I do it? Shall I not? But we decided to go for it. I knew I'm not gonna place high because I knew between amateurs and the pros that I knew I had to work so much more on my physique. I just wanted to see where I'm gonna place at that time to see, okay, you know what, let's check it out, and then we see what we need to work on and what to bring and what to change. So I went there just to see where I'm gonna stand between all these amazing ladies. So we did show next day, and it was I think over 22 or 24 girls, and I came top 10, which was good surprise as well. I knew I had work to do, but still managed to do top 10. Yeah. So after the show, I was like, okay, we know kind of what we need to do, and that's how when I think I had 2 weeks little recovery, and then we took the whole year off stage, but we started working literally 2 weeks after we started working the whole year. We started working. There was no freestyling. Everything was planned. All workouts, all food, whole year, until 2018, where I did my pro debut the one I prepared for Romania.
So 2018, you said you took a little bit of break, you worked on your physique, you did Romania Muscle Fest, you got third place. Going into 2019, you also took another longer break to work on your physique as well. You went into Toronto Pro, you got second, you got Vancouver Pro, you got first. But then afterwards, you also went to Portugal and the Kai Green. All of those, you got first and second places in those shows, all international shows, right? But then this was also the time of the qualification points. So even though that, in the beginning of your career, it wasn't a lot of shows, 4 shows after Romanian Pro and you took that break, you really didn't compete a whole lot, but you also did place very, very well. And honestly, going into the actual Arnold stage, you've actually beat some of the girls going into that stage. But tell us a little bit about those shows and going into it, and getting the first place, second place after just being a brand new pro and taking some time off and to try to work on your physique.
Oh, this was amazing experience. I mean, the whole year was like a blur. We did Romania Muscle Fest. I came third. We thought, okay, you know what? The whole year paid off, and decided to go to Toronto. Toronto, as I said, European shows are slightly different than overseas. So again, we didn't know what to expect. we said, okay, let's check out Toronto. Let's see what's up there, how we're gonna place, and we came second. And that was actually like, oh, okay, you know what? We actually might have a chance to try to hit Olympia this year, you know. So when I did Romania Muscle Fest Pro, it was just like one show. I hate preparing for one show because it's like waste, you know, you're preparing for so long and you do one show and it's over. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do Vancouver, I signed straight away after Toronto, Vancouver, Portugal, and Italy. I signed 3 contracts and I thought no matter what, I'm just gonna do it. I wanna see where I place, you know, it's gonna be different girls competing, different scenarios, so different judges. I wanna see what's gonna happen. So we did Toronto second, then we went Vancouver and we won it, which was a bit, you know, overwhelming. I did not expect that. So it was like, whew. And then we did Portugal second and we won Italy again. So, and then we went Olympia and then I woke up.
Okay, so yeah, you said you woke up because, you know, I was looking and, you know, you did very, very well in those shows, but then coming to Olympia, you came in on the 16th place, which was funny because you had beaten some of the girls that were on that stage that had beat you on the actual Olympia stage. Now, what did you feel at that point? Was it more of like a wake up call? It's like, you know, I really need to get like, you know, rolling and I need to work on my physique and I need, you know, what was it that kind of happened during that?
I mean, just to make it to Olympia in a first year, in a rookie year, I was so happy. Of course, I wanted to place the highest possible in Olympia. I mean, everybody wants to, but it's Olympia in the end of the day. So I was hoping a little bit for, you know, maybe top 10. But you know what? We're working, you know, I took on my chest and just was time to work and let's see what happens now.
Now, given the fact that, you know, what happened at the Olympia in 2019, you decided to do the Arnold Classic. Now, what have you wanted to improve or what have you done differently in your prep going into the Arnold Classic?
For me, the most important is to bring the size up and keep conditioning. So condition with a size, you know, size is no condition is not a big issue for me. But if it comes to size, I tend to lose size the more shows I do. I lose the size. So for me to now is to keep the size with the conditioning. That's the goal. You know, I worked on my weak parts as well. General overall size for me.
Now, yeah, so as far as the weak points, like what specific weak points did you feel that you had to work on going into the stage?
Uh, my two is always core and calves.
Okay, so that's something that you really want to work on. You want to get them tighter. You want to grow your calves, stuff like that, and that's what you felt that you're kind of a little bit lacking in your physique going into the Olympia, correct?
That's right.
Now, as far as your training and your diet, you know, how is that, and how are you feeling like 4 weeks out, or I would say it's really 3 weeks out from the show? Like, how are you feeling? How is your diet? How's your training? You know, let us know about all of that.
I'm feeling hungry. You know, I think people think is like 1 week before the show that is the worst one. Actually, it's not. I think 4 weeks is the worst time because it's less food. You know, we at the moment is, you know, carbs are down, fats are down, training is still high, cardio is up, so it's quite tough, but we're managing.
Now, going into the Olympia, I'm sorry, going into the Arnold. I don't know why I had said the Olympia, but going into the Arnold, and the fact that, you know, you've competed against some of these girls that are, I counted maybe like 4 or 5 girls. A lot of them you've won over. Some of them they kind of beat you at the Olympia, but those are some of the top girls that are actually in figure right now that you have beaten. How do you feel going into this? Like, you know, who do you feel like would be your biggest competition going into the show? And how do you feel that you would come up on top of them?
Um, After Olympia, to be honest, I don't think about it anymore. I just want to bring my best. They're all ladies that are gonna be at Arnold. They all have great physiques. They all, you know, most of them are been doing it for many years. They have a lot of years of training and competing. So for me, it's just great to be there and compete with them again. So for me, that's most important. I don't focus on any single person or any single competitor. I just bring my best, and I'm just happy that I can compete with them. And you know,
No, and it's an open field this year because you don't have Candice, you don't have Latoya, you don't have Sydney, okay, you don't have any of those past winners coming to the show. What do you feel are your chances to be able to win the title this year?
I really honestly I don't know. I don't know what to expect after Olympia. I really don't know what to expect. So I mean, to be honest, anything could happen. Anything could happen. I could look at the list and I'll be like, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see.
Now, given the fact that you really didn't compete after the Olympic last year, now qualification has changed that now you have to win a show. After the actual Arnold, do you have any plans to compete in any other shows in the future? And what would be your plan going into those shows?
Yes, definitely. I got a plan to compete after Arnold's. Didn't set on a specific shows yet. But definitely when I do it, I want to do again 3, 4 shows to see how I place. I mean, the prep is quite long and can be very tiring. So I definitely want to do 3, 4 shows. New York Pro was always on my mind, you know. Even last year, unfortunately, I couldn't do it. So I'm thinking hopefully this year, New York Pro, and then a few shows around it.
No, and the thing is, you live in Poland, right? So
I actually live in UK.
okay, so you live in the UK now. Okay, so that's why you will be hitting a lot of international shows, but you really, other than I believe just doing the Arnold Classic this year, this will be your first competition in the States. Now, would you want to start competing more in the United States because of the fact of, there's more competitions, there's more chances to be able to get a qualification to the Olympia?
Except Olympia, I haven't done any show in America yet. So Arnold is gonna be the second one, and then I would love to compete in America. When it's kind of like when I've been watching all the girls and all the competitions in America, it's like when you watch it from here, it's like, oh wow, we always dream to go there and to compete there, and always want to go and compete with the best. So I think American shows definitely on the list, but also Pro League is bringing a lot of new shows to Europe, which is great as well. So I'm looking forward to it as well.
And now the fact that you're going to the Arnold, it's basically going to be your first time going there, right? You've never been there, you've never experienced it.
No,
So
heard is mind blowing. Somebody even said it to me that is better than Olympia. I was like, ah.
I mean, the expo I think is better than the Olympia, but going it being your first time, what are you really looking forward to other than just competing? Are you looking forward to seeing women's physique? Are you forward to like meeting other sponsors? Like, what are you looking forward to at the?
I'm looking forward to the whole weekend. Also training in the gyms. My coach is always sending me the gyms that we're gonna hit when we're somewhere. So Arnold, he actually messaged me this morning saying, "Anna, this is where we're gonna train." So definitely expo competition. There's always a lot of inspiring people that go and see Arnold. So the whole weekend and the whole experience, basically, I'm looking forward to it.
No, and we definitely look forward to seeing you on stage. Definitely look forward to actually meeting you in person because we'll be
Are
there.
you gonna be there?
We'll be covering it live on all our pages, so we will be there. Don't worry about it. But we totally look forward to seeing you over there, and we definitely want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank
Um,
you so much.
I would have to tell you, hats off. I love the way you look. I love your physique. So I hope that at this show you make a dent and you get up there and you really start pushing to be one of those top competitors for a figure this year.
Thank you so much.
Uh, Thank you so much, Anna. I truly appreciate you taking the time. I know it's hard during a prep, to be able to do something like that, but I totally appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank,
Thanks, Ed.
thank you.